On a recent Friday at the Lindamore Community Pier, the weather was beautiful, and though it was tempting, it wasn't safe for pets and people to take a dip. Is the water safe to go into? It's a question we all have, especially from Memorial Day until Labor Day. Bay Bulletin tracks down some of the people with those answers.
And then we just do a U shape into the water.
Dr. Tammy Domansky, the director of the Environmental Center at Anne Arundel Community College and Operation Clearwater, shows us how her team does weekly tests of our local waterways. They collect and test on Wednesday and make the information available on Thursday ahead of the weekend.
It doesn't take a lot of animal activity in the marsh to create numbers that are somewhat high.
Severn River Association alerted us to recent high numbers of fecal bacteria at 2 locations, including right here at the Lindamore Community Pier near the Severn River Bridge. Douglas Kearney lives here and has tracked the numbers for years.
2016 and 2017, the numbers were actually fairly bad. Specifically at the community pier, not so much at my pier. Actually, the numbers have gotten progressively worse.
Why? That's a question we're all trying to figure out.
All we have is really anecdotal evidence that there is a correlation between stormwater runoff and an increasing numbers as it relates to that.
So when it rains, the advice here and with several water monitoring organizations across the bay is to avoid direct contact with the water for at least a day.
You want to avoid or limit water contact for at least 24 to 48 hours after we receive an inch of rainfall or more, because bacteria levels are going to rise.
Shore Rivers launched a new program this year where volunteers collect the samples.
We shake that up
to monitor bacteria in the water. Sassafras Riverkeeper Zach Kelleher showed us how they mix the sample with water and pour it into trays to incubate for 24 hours and then place them under a black light.
Yeah, there's active bacteria. When the bacteria is feeding on that the powder that I put into it, it gives off a ultraviolet signature.
You can look for the results every Friday morning on the Riverkeepers Facebook pages and in the swim guide.
It really boils down to the question, is there fecal matter in the water?
In Virginia, the James River Association has a new web application to better visualize the data.
Is it safe to swim in the James River? Yes, most of the time, but there are some times when it could be dangerous, and we wanted to be able to pull all of that data together in one place.
They work with other groups to collect from more than 30 stations.
And we wanted to be able to pull all of that data together in one place so that people could look and be able to make informed decisions about when to swim in the river and where to swim in the river.
Go to jamesriverwatch.org and click on Check River Conditions. Again, there's a warning. If it rains after the data is collected, numbers could change. Dr. Domansky says you have to make a decision about your own risk tolerance.
There's a difference between, going kayaking and having some contact with the water versus going swimming for the whole day and spending a lot of time in the water.
Dr. Domansky says to keep in mind it's not raw sewage, it dissolves and spreads out. You can check the bacteria samples every week through the summer from Memorial Day until Labor Day. For Chesapeake Bay Media's Bay Bulletin, I'm Cheryl Costello.